might seem that if the value of a commodity is determined by the quantity of labor bestowed upon its production, the lazier man, or the clumsier a man, the more valuable his commodity, because the greater time of labor required for finishing the commodity. This, however, would be a sad mistake. You will recollect that I use the word social labor, and many points are involved in this qualification of social. In saying that the value of a commodity is determined by the quantity of labor worked up or crystallized in it, we mean the quantity of labor necessary for its production in a given state of society under certain social average conditions of production, with a given social average intensity and average skill of the labor employed. When in England the power loom came to compete with the hand loom, only half the former time of labor was wanted to convert a given amount of yarn into a yard of cotton cloth. The poor hand loom weaver now worked 17 or 18 hours daily instead of the 9 or 10 hours he had worked before. Still, the product of 20 hours of his labor represented now only 10 hours of labor, or 10 hours of labor socially necessary for the conversion of a certain amount of yarn into textile stuffs. His product of 20 hours had, therefore, no more value than his former product of 10 hours. If then the quantity of socially necessary labor realized in commodities regulates their exchangeable values, every increase in the quantity of labor wanted for the production of a commodity must augment its value, as every diminution must lower it. If the respective quantities of labor necessary for the production of the respective commodities remain constant, their relative values also would be constant. But such is not the case. The quantity of labor necessary for the production of a commodity changes continuously with the changes in the productive powers of labor. The more produce is finished in a given time of labor, and the smaller the productive powers of labor, the less produce is finished in the same time. If, for example, in the progress of population, it should become necessary to cultivate less fertile soils, the same amount of agricultural produce would consequently rise. On the other hand, if, with modern means of production, a single spinner converts into yarn during one working day many thousand times the amount of cotton which he could have spun in the same time with the spinning wheel, it is evident that every single pound of cotton will absorb many thousand times less of spinning labor than it did before, and consequently the value added by spinning to every single pound of cotton will be 1,000 times less than before. The value of cotton will sink accordingly. Apart from the different natural energies and acquired working abilities of different peoples, the productive powers of labor must principally depend, firstly, upon the natural conditions of labor, such as the fertility of soils, mines, and so forth. Secondly, upon the progressive improvement of the social powers of labor, such as are derived from production on a grand scale, concentration of capital, and combination of labor, subdivision of labor, machinery, improved methods, appliance of chemical and other natural agencies, shortening of time and space by means of communication and transport, and every other contrivance by which science presses natural agencies into the service of labor, and by which the social or cooperative character of labor is developed. The greater the productive powers of labor, the less labor is bestowed upon a given amount of produce. Hence, the smaller the value of the produce. The smaller the productive powers of labor, the more labor is bestowed upon the same amount of produce. Hence, the greater its value. As a general law, we may therefore set it down that the values of commodities are directly as the times of labor employed in their production, and inversely as the productive powers of labor employed.